While here on BBC One Scotland, live coverage of Celtic v Hearts in Sports Scene with Rob McLean.
The championship is Celtic's.
A year of change and challenge for the champions. Elation preceded elimination.
Celtic are out of the Champions League.
And a year of heart and hope for Hearts. Relegation preceded rejuvenation.
It's a spectacular opening goal in the derby.
New faces force a new focus. New belief for those who bleed the colours. But the heart will heal, because winning heals everything.
They're a league apart this season, but Premiership favourites Celtic are far from firing on all cylinders, and Hearts, of course, are looking like a team reborn at the top of the Scottish Championship. It all adds up to an intriguing little match-up here at Celtic Park tonight in the third round of the League Cup. These two looking to join Aberdeen and Hibs, Partick Thistle, Rangers, St Johnstone in the quarter-finals. And we'll have last night's highlights during half-time of this one. There are also two derbies tonight, which will decide another two places in the last 8 of the competition. The Dundee derby at Tannadice, and the Lanarkshire version is Hamilton against Motherwell at New Douglas Park. We'll have news of those two woven in with our coverage of this one. Hearts at Celtic Park, live on the BBC. Now, Charlie Mulgrew is not playing tonight. That's why he's standing next to me. Michael Stewart is with us as well. So let's find out who is playing for Celtic tonight, firstly, and 4 changes from the side which drew 1 each with Motherwell at the weekend. Craig Gordon returns in goal. The two who came on at half-time made such a big difference. Scott Brown and Chris Commons. They are starters as well. Stefan Johansson is back in the starting lineup for Celtic 2. Players moving out of the team: Zaluska, Kayal, Beaton and Tonev. Hearts with 3 changes from the side which beat Cowdenbeath 5-1 on Saturday. Prince Boabin is back after suspension. Sam Nicholson is back, he starts, and Dale Carrick too. The players dropping out are Robinson, King and Keating. So those are the 2 team selections, and Charlie, maybe not too surprising, and when we saw the impact that particularly Brown and Commons had off the bench on Sunday, that they'll start in this one.
Yeah, they're big players for us. I mean, you saw it when they came on in Sunday there, that Brownie drives it for the midfield, he gets on the ball, he pushes forward and he drags everybody with him. And Commons' goals can't be overlooked. He's got a great record this last season, and he started scoring again this season. So and he showed with the penalty the composure he's got. So 2 big players for us, and it's good to see them back. And Michael, in terms of the 3 Hearts changes, is the return of Prince Boabin the key one, because that's such an important area alongside Gomez in the midfield?
Yeah, it will be, especially, Charlie's making the point there with Scott Brown coming back in for Celtic. It's important that Hearts get their strongest team on the pitch, and I think there's no doubt that Boabin and Gomez in the middle of the park is their strongest pairing in there, and it'll be a good match-up, it'll be a good battle tonight, and I think ultimately whoever can get the foothold in that middle of the park could go on and win the game. But Nicholson as well coming back in the wide areas, he's a really, really talented young player, and he could cause a lot of problems for Celtic.
The Celtic fans, Charlie, would prefer that you were in the hoops rather than the shirt and tie tonight. How's the knee?
I got an injection yesterday on it down in London, saw the specialist, and they thought the best option was to get an injection into the knee. So it's settling down well, and I'm running on Friday, and then hopefully I can push on, get back to training next hopefully 10 days. I'm trying to say earlier, but we'll see what the physios say. Were you worried that you might have to go under the knife? It was spoke about, but best case scenario was the injection, because it doesn't add any more time onto my recovery, it just pushes it along if anything. If I'd got the operation, it would have been an extra couple of weeks, so it was great that I didn't have to do that, and it's really gave me a lift that I can now start running and getting fitter.
Here's a goal of yours from the League Cup. Sadly, it was scored in a game you lost because it was against St Mirren, who went on to win the League Cup that season. Has it been surprising and disappointing for you that in among all the success you've had with Celtic, the League Cup hasn't been kind to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been disappointing at times. We could beat off Rangers in the final after extra time, so we're unlucky that day. Very disappointing day, and we've never managed to get back to another final after that, so that's been disappointing. And after tonight, hopefully we're in the next round of the cup and we can push on and do well in it this year. That's really a big aim for us to get the League Cup this year.
The last time Michael, Celtic and Hearts met in the League Cup competition, it was 5 years ago. This is sounding a little bit like This Is Your Life, because you'll never guess who scored the only goal of the game. Well, you actually will guess.
Wasn't it Charlie?
No, it wasn't Charlie.
Yeah, I can remember the penalty. It's a fantastically struck one that just sneaked over the line. All count.
How did you hit that with your Timbies on?
Chaba was a wee bit excited about it as well. That was a good result though. I think we got through to the semi-final and ended up playing on a bit of a boggy pitch at Fir Park against St Mirren, and unfortunately we never got through to the final. But I think that it was a great result because we were going through a bit of a sticky patch at that time, and to come to Celtic Park and win the game with a fantastically struck penalty was a good night.
Not the most convincing penalty I've ever seen, I have to say. The current Celtic manager, Ronny Deila, wouldn't fancy a repeat of that League Cup result from 5 years ago. That is for sure. It's been a tough start for him in this Celtic job. He's been talking to Al Lamont. He's convinced he's making good progress.
I think we're getting there. I think to have a consistency in the team also when the starting 11 is important. And when we had that, I think we are progressing. But when we have switched a lot of players, then in the same time we have been struggling like the first half now on Sundays.
Motherwell in front, and it's a brilliant finish from Sutton.
But again, when we get on more experienced player, we get the momentum back, and we played a good second half. Of course, the European football has been one of the reasons why we have changed it on the team, of course. But it's also about fitness and about injuries. So it's a lot of things is behind the decisions.
What are your ultimate goals then this season? I mean, would you see the treble as being attainable for you this first season?
It's a goal. It's a huge goal, and of course it's going to be very difficult. But as you said, we have a chance, and now we just have to go into every game and do everything we can to win it, and be good prepared and play good teams all the time. And that's now on Wednesday it starts with Hearts, and that's a big goal for us to win the treble.
Obviously Hearts, for the first time in a long time, are not in the top league, but what do you know of them, and how much have you seen of them? And they've got a new coach obviously too, Robbie Neilson.
They are a young team, and they're a big club that has potential to be and been many years on the top division. And it's going to be a tough game because they have good confidence now, and they are playing good. So I'm very looking forward to it. And I've been watching them on television. We have people been to the games and watch them as well. So we know what we're going to meet, and we know it's going to be tough. But we also know how good we are when we play as we did the second half yesterday.
He seems like a really nice guy, Ronny Deila. What's he like to work with, Charlie? What's his style, and are you convinced that he'll prove to be the right choice?
Definitely. I mean, he's a really nice guy, really top coach. His training's great. I mean, everybody enjoys it. Everybody's responding well, and yeah, he's got some new ideas, and we're all responding well to it. I think he needs time, like any manager does, and he's definitely shown the right signs.
You know, I think that's very important that you get the players on side with you. Ultimately, though, you need to start getting some results and build up some momentum, because it can quickly turn. Players can quickly change their mind on you, but it's good to hear that the guys are buying into what he's trying to do here.
Okay, let's hear from Hearts head coach Robbie Neilson. He's been talking to Brian McLaughlin, and they're not high flying at the top of the championship by chance. He says it's all down to hard work.
If players want to get to the top, they need to work hard, and I believe that if you want to stay the same, you train for an hour and a half. If you want to get better, then you need to train more. And I was coming through as a player, it was very much, you come in, you report at 10 o'clock and you're away for 12. you know, and you're never going to develop with that. You know, our boys now come in they'll bin for 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they'll leave at 3, 4, 4:30 sometimes. And again, there's got to be a balance between developing them, but also the Saturday's the important thing. It's about winning games.
Will you be able to relax when you go to Celtic Park on Wednesday?
Yeah, you know, going into games, I'm pretty relaxed about it. You know, we do our preparation before it. You know, we prepare right after the previous game. You know, and give the players all the information as much as we can, so that when we get there and they're out doing their warm up and they're ready. You know, and it's just a case of trying to motivate them before the game and giving them little last bits of pieces here and there to try and help them.
Celtic lost to Morton in the League Cup it was last season. Do you think that they put the importance on the League Cup as Hearts do?
Yeah, I think they will. You know, I think they do, and I think they will this season. You know, Stevie and I went to watch the game on Sunday against Motherwell. You know, and they rested 6 players. You know, so it shows the importance of the League Cup game to them. You know, so we know that it's going to be a very difficult game, and you know we're huge underdogs going into that game, but we want to go and show what we can do. We've had a good start to the season and we want to continue.
It's Nicholson! It's a spectacular opening goal in the derby.
What have you made of Ronny Deila and his start at Celtic?
I've heard a lot of good things about him. I mean, I've never met him, I haven't spoken to him, but I've been speaking to people and players in there. I've heard a lot of good things about the things he's trying to do and the way he's training the players, and I'm looking forward to meeting him. You know, I think it'll be interesting to see what his views of the game are. You know, I think he's attack-minded, and the things he's doing in training are interesting, and yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
We were talking about Robbie Neilson. We were talking about Ronny Deila being a surprise choice. Robbie Neilson probably falls into the same sort of category for a lot of people when he was appointed to the Hearts job, but he's been impressive, Michael.
Yeah, he has. He's a very meticulous guy. He goes about his work, and he's really professional. And I think that's shown with the results that Hearts have got. As you said just before the interview there, it's not by chance that they're sitting at the top of the league. He was up in Aberdeen watching Livingston yesterday, obviously getting prepared for meeting them, and he goes about his business in a really professional way, and I'm delighted to see him doing so well. And he's got he's put together a really good team at Hearts as well. A lot of good acquisitions. But then you've got to take that forward onto the pitch and get them shaped up and get the players understanding what they're meant to be doing here. And I think you can see with the youngsters and the experienced players, he's got a good blend there, and they all understand what's expected of them.
We saw the Morton goal, which knocked Celtic out of the League Cup last season. Eerily, Charlie, it's a year ago tonight. That's a suitable warning, isn't it, for Celtic?
I mean, he was playing that night.
It's a warning, though, isn't it, that if you don't get your attitude spot on, results like that happen.
I know Morton came in and made it hard for us that night. I think that night we had something like 25 corners, so we were all over them. We just couldn't get that goal. We hit the post, I'm sure we hit the bar, so that's what happens. We've got to show tonight that we've learned our lessons from then, and we're playing a strong team tonight. We can go through the next round of the Cup, because that's what we all want to get. We want to get the League Cup and get into the next round, so everybody's up for it, and hopefully we can get the result tonight, and everybody will forget about Morton last year.